And we're on.
What is going on, Maniacs? I'm John, and this is Ryan, and here we are sitting in our studio.
Yeah, studio.
We have a studio. Man, that's so crazy.
A garage and a studio.
Yeah, and this is our episode 2 of Maniacs Reacts.
Yep, just missing Jim tonight. Had some family obligations. Having to truck on without him.
We'll let him off. We'll give him one day off. You know, he deserves it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just have fun here with just the two of us. And in these Maniacs Reacts, what we do is we pick 2 cars that we like, that we have featured on our Maniacs Garage Instagram page in the past. And Ryan actually picked one of them. I picked the other one. And then just for good measure, we throw in a bonus car at the end. So a third car. And we kind of review and look at it, and we comment about it, and we just have some fun with them. So that's kind of what Maniacs Reacts is about.
Yeah. So how about we check it out?
Yeah, let's check it out. Let's get going with the first one. What did you pick, actually? Why don't you tell us about what you picked? Make a little intro, if you will.
I picked something very interesting. Talk about big wheels and tires.
Okay. All right.
And a
is it a big 4x4? No, it's a lowered big wheel.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
you a little intrigued?
I'm intrigued. I'm seeing the preview, but I'm acting like I'm intrigued because it is so cool.
Well, let's check out 5-ton Fred.
5-ton Fred.
5-ton Fred.
All right, show it to us. Ah, there it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love this thing.
This thing is wild.
I really, really dig this thing. So, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So this vehicle started off life as a school bus.
I find that hard to believe. I mean, it is yellow like a school bus.
Yeah, the chassis and the engine was a 32-foot school bus that he basically cut half of the length out of the middle of it.
Oh, man. You know what? I remember talking to this guy. Yes. That is crazy, dude. So it's like a Bluebird school bus, and he super shortened it, and then he put this cab on it, and man, I know this cab. It's an auto car, I think. So the truck is called an auto car, and I think they used these trucks way back. That's actually a 1949.
Right.
Which
I guess that it was a tanker, if I remember it correctly.
A tanker, and I think they used them for like logging trucks and things like that. So that's kind of where the cab comes from, and the grill.
It was a workhorse.
Yeah, it's just a workhorse. And I'm thinking that that's the original yellow, if I remember correctly on that. So super cool. And then I think, if I remember right, he had the body channeled, and that's when, so you can do a chop, you can do a channel. This one, he did not chop it. So that's the roof. He didn't take any out of it, but he channeled it. So he took some of it out below the belt line. Right. So like below the windows.
Right. So the body sits down over the frame. I think he said it was like 18 inches or something crazy like that.
Yeah. Pretty sweet, man. Pretty sweet. So tires, man. What do you remember what tire sizes those were?
Those are 53-inch military tires. You're looking at over 500 pounds per corner. So he has 1 ton in wheels and tires on this vehicle, dude.
That's crazy. That's like 1/3 of our 49 Ford body swap BMW just in his wheels and tires.
Yeah.
Man, that is so rad. And I remember talking to this guy back at the Hot Wheels event in Phoenix like a year or so ago. And so he was telling us that he can drive that thing the way that it's geared. He can literally drive it on the freeway at up to 80 miles an hour. It just cruises. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, how does it drive? And he said it actually drives well. The hardest part is that it's so wide. So it's hard to judge kind of where it fits in a lane on the freeway. But it drives really cool. It doesn't have a lot of horsepower. It's got like 250 horsepower-ish, but it has something like 650 torque.
Lots of foot-pounds of torque.
So it's a turbo diesel, right? So diesels, especially turbo diesels, a lot of torque. So which he needs to move those big wheels, because man, that is some work right there for that motor.
Yeah,
to crank those wheels.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of mass to get rolling.
So
and stopping.
Man, yeah, I don't even know what kind of brakes he's running. I forgot to.
Some sort of air brakes. We
air brakes,
remember him take it off and stop it and.
So my favorite part, I mean, other than just the overall look, right? Because it demands attention.
Yeah.
You know, we saw it in a crowd of vehicles in line, getting into the Hot Wheels. What was that thing? The Hot Wheels Challenge.
Yeah.
And you hear the air brakes, you hear the turbo, you know, on this diesel truck, and it's just so cool. So it demands attention.
Yeah.
And that's I mean, that obviously is one of my, you know, favorite things about it. But I think I really dig this kind of the simplicity, like leaving the windshield cracked the way it was from who knows when, right? He used these seats in it that are so at home in that truck, and they are some sort of a bomber airplane, like real seats, not like, you know, the rat rod bomber seats, right? Like style. Yeah, they're actually authentic, you know, airplane seats in this thing. Yeah, and really cool. Really cool.
If there was anybody that should have beat us at the Hot Wheels show, it should have been him.
Yeah, we lost with 49.
We were near the top. We know that, but
we were. There were definitely some cool cars there, and I think he definitely, I mean, that is, look at it. It looks like a Hot Wheels.
Yeah, that looks like it belongs in the package.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, man. So super cool. So super cool, man. I like it. Well, hey, man, I think we need to grade this bad boy. And we forgot to tell our viewers that we actually do a grading system.
We do have the grading system
on this thing.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to help me because I'm trying to remember our grading system right now. We've only done the show once before. But we do have a grading system.
Yeah. So if it's just kind of, that's a cranker.
That's a cranker. Yep.
You know, it's like, it might fire
That's
up.
That's decent,
whatever.
but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I remember it now.
Okay.
So the second one, if it's like, okay, this is pretty cool, it's got some, you know, something going, then that's a cruiser.
That's a cruiser.
Right? So then that's kind of like, you know, 3,000 RPM on our tachometer.
Just cruise along.
On our RPM, which is reactions per minute.
Yeah.
Tachometer gauge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then what is it when it's just awesome?
You'll have to remind me.
I have to remind you. Well, that's on the limiter. That's on the limiter, and it is pegging that limiter red line.
And that's where I stick 5-ton Fred, dude. That thing is so stinking cool.
I have to agree with you. Because it is super cool. Tons of work. 5 tons of work.
Yeah.
Right, just so much work getting this thing the way it is, and it's so unique. And she ugly. Love that plate. That's so cool, man.
Yeah,
so
if you want to see more of it, go check out our YouTube channel. We did a whole interview with them. You can see it's like 8.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Find out a few more of the details, but that was fun. That was a really, really cool car.
Man, look how mean it looks.
It does.
The headlights. Dude, the headlights.
Yeah.
I think they're like a T-Bird headlight, like a 62 T-Bird headlight, vertical with the little covers over them and everything. Super cool.
Very
super
cool.
Car.
Yeah,
very check it out. Car. And then if you want to check out his Instagram page, it's at 5-ton Fred.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're ready for our next vehicle.
I think we're ready to find out who's sponsoring today's episode, John.
Let's show everybody who is sponsoring this video today.
None other than Boxo Tools.
Boxo USA. And that is my best friend right there, wrapping a custom Holly LS Fest box right there, limited edition. And that is so cool, man. Check it out, dude.
That is cool. Literally wrapping it at LS Fest.
Literally, dude. It's so cool. Robert, you're a stud muffin, man. You're so cool. So tools, not just awesome tools, but look how cool, man. It's just like there's some coolness factor with Boxo, right? Absolutely. So we've been using Boxo on pretty much everything. We used it building the 49 Ford body swap BMW. We're using it on our 62 Maniacs right now, which is a help me out with that car.
62 Mercury Monterey.
Yeah, Mercury Monterey. That's right.
Just a V8.
Just a V8. So I forget sometimes. Yeah, Jim's not here, so he can't be too mad at me on that one. But on our UTVs, on the boats, on motorhomes, we have Boxo tools in everything that we own.
Yeah.
So you can check them out at boxousa.com. And definitely see what they have to offer.
I think there's a discount code.
Oh, yeah, there is a discount code. I think it's Maniacs 10, and you get 10% off on anything that you buy there. So go check them out at Boxo USA. Enter Maniacs 10 in the at the checkout counter, and have some fun.
Yeah.
Save some money.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Get some good tools.
Yeah. Let's go to our car number dopes.
All right.
Do you like my international
number dopes
speaking ability?
Yeah. So, John, why don't you tell us about this next vehicle we're going to check out?
Okay, cool. All right, so this thing, I actually picked this one. So this is cool, man. Yeah. So this has some nostalgia to it. Okay, It's open wheel.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, not an Indy car.
I still like it.
It's got a big blower and a big motor sticking through not even having a hood.
Now I'm liking it even more.
Right? It's chopped. Let's see it.
Woo! Look at that.
So, bro, this is a 32 Hudson. How cool, how unique is that, right? You see a lot of 32 Fords and even some Chevys out in the rat rod world. And now I'm not even classifying this as a rat rod, by the way, but it's kind of ratty.
Yeah.
So it's a 32 Hudson body. I think it's I don't know if they call it, I think it is a two-door. I think it was Suicide Factory, if I remember correctly, on this car. It might have been a four-door with the suicide doors, and he made it into a two-door.
I don't know, but he likes having fun with it, too.
Oh, yeah, it goes, right?
I did get to ride in this car once, dude, and oh my word, does it go.
I rode in it, too, man. And I got to tell you, he says it's like mid-500s-ish horsepower.
It sure feels like a lot more than that.
Which is kind of where the 49 is, right? Kind of like the mid to high 500 horsepower, but it's different horsepower. Yeah. Different torque. How about that, right?
Yeah.
Is what we have. That thing, you feel it.
Yeah, for sure.
He gets in that gas and you feel it.
So why don't
you tell us a little bit about some of the bits and pieces on this thing, because it's super cool.
This is a really cool car. It's a lot of fun. It's our friend Joaquin. Sorry, I was going through looking at a couple of his other pages trying to find a good shot.
There you go.
I actually busted him for this one. He was
he's in the pecan girl.
He is. I was coming home from work and I pulled over and I'm like, "Hey, you're supposed to be out there." And he's like, And then when he finally gets closer to my truck, he realizes it was me and about dies laughing.
Nice. Good job, Ryan.
Oh, but anyways, so the funny thing about that, right? 32 Vette is his Instagram page.
Yep.
Why Vette if it's a Hudson? Well, that's because it has a C5 LS1 engine and transaxle.
Yeah, Corvette.
Yep. With Corvette C6 suspension.
Yeah.
On a custom-made frame, 2x4 steel frame.
Yeah,
front to
he
back.
and some buddies, I guess, built the frame for it, Yeah. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
And obviously, he told us he did everything on the budget. He kind of learned how to weld and kind of do these things, and they just been wrenching on this thing in his garage. And it's just been an ongoing project. But he drove this to Vegas, dude.
Yeah.
From Tucson.
Yeah. For LS.
No windows. He's got a windshield.
Yeah.
I guess he's got a Lexus rear quarter window. He's got
no rear window.
No heater, no AC.
It's got the top of it is a cloth top that slides.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rack top. And man, but what's your favorite part about this thing, man?
Having ridden in it, that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
This thing is just raw. You start it up. I mean, you can see how short it's got, little shorty mufflers on the side, straight off the headers, and it's just loud, raw, and obnoxious. The whole car is. It actually rides halfway decent on the Corvette suspension.
It does.
It does ride decent.
Yeah.
but it's just raw power. The blower just sounds crazy.
So, dude, I'm gonna have to jump in on top of you here and just tell you what I love about this.
Yeah,
because I'm just a sucker for patina. I just love patina, man. I don't know how long I go back, however far I go back, and I started kind of just appreciating patina, and it's just so cool, especially if it's original patina, which a lot of this is original patina. I mean, I think there's some parts that he welded since, and it just kind of repatinaed.
Yeah.
But I love the patina, and I like the contrast. I always like the contrast of kind of modern versus old. Mixing different styles, and I love the modern wheels on it, and I know that people comment that, that doesn't fit the look, and I agree, it doesn't fit the look, the traditional rat rod, hot rod look. Those wheels don't fit that look. Right. But this is not one of those. This is in its own kind of category, right? And I think it looks proper with those modern wheels, oversized like that. I think they're 20s.
Yeah.
It's got big brakes on it, big modern, stopping power that you're going to need for that engine. So it's super cool. He's got some like kind of low key looking seats in it. He's got a cage that he put
some
together.
Low
back buckets. Yeah, they're just nothing. They don't really stand out.
No.
And
but kind of like you said, old versus modern, right? You've also got this modern LS engine sitting up front with just minimal wiring on it, though. He did a great job.
Did we mention the air-to-water intercooler he's got on it? So part of that, riser, looks like a riser on that thing. That's an air-to-water intercooler. Yeah. It looks beef. It looks so cool,
It is, too. It's all just this big, thick billet aluminum stuff that's all machined out.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's supercharged. He's got some a little bit of work done to the motor, but most of these stock on the internals. So, but man, what a fun ride! It sounds so cool too. Sounds so cool.
It does.
And he's got some mixture of whatever he did with the headlights and the taillights. Those are not 32 Hudson.
No.
No. So yeah, man. I don't know. Are we at the part where we're gonna grade this thing?
I think so.
All right, I'm gonna go first this time.
Okay.
All right.
Let me cue up a video though. That's perfect. For
us,
there
you go.
Us rating this guy, right?
I like it. Yeah. So all right, man. We already explained the grading system. I don't have to explain it again. I'm just gonna go. This thing is hitting the limiter.
Absolutely on the limiter, dude.
On the limiter. In fact, he probably is on the limiter.
He's probably
right there. I can't wait to do that with the 49 with our Born Again.
Yeah, except not in the dust. I'm not cleaning it out.
Yeah, I don't want to do it in the dust either.
He can take an air hose to his.
True.
Our black suede or Alcantara on the inside would not fare so well.
All right, man. Well, what did you rate this thing?
Yeah, it's definitely on the limiter. Yeah.
Jim?
Way to go, Joaquin. Good
Jim,
to
what do you rate? Oh, Jim's not here. Never mind. Yeah, Joaquin at 32 Vette. You guys can check out his Instagram page, and you guys can also check out an interview that we did with him on his car on our Maniacs Garage YouTube channel, which is where you are right now watching this.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, you could just scroll over and check out the
click right. Not right now. Let's finish this video. And right after that, go look for the 32 Vette interview with Joaquin. All right, man. Cool. Well, I think we are ready for our bonus car.
Yeah, you think so, huh?
I think so, and I don't even know what it is, but I'm going to tell our viewers. Okay, all right. I see the preview already. You guys don't see it yet, guys, but it's cool. So we decided that we're going to be pulling these bonus cars off of another friend of ours Instagram page called Auto Atrocities.
There's so much good stuff on there, dude.
There's so much good stuff. Great stuff. If you guys want to see some crazy things, go to check it out there. So
lots of hack
jobs. Yeah, some are kind of cool.
Some are kind of cool.
So they're so yeah. Let's go to this. Let's go to this one and see what we have here. Boom. So it's a Miata. And it's like what is that? Like a shooting
brake.
I was going to say shooting star. But a shooting brake.
I don't think I would qualify this one as a shooting star.
So shooting brake, I don't even know where I've heard it, seen it. I think there's another Miata out there on Instagram that's like pretty cool, and it's got this like wagony look to it. I think that's what makes it a shooting brake.
Yeah, I think a 2-door long nose short cabin with a 2-door wagon style.
Maybe
like I have the Z3.
Yeah, BMW Z3.
And my favorite Z3 is the shooting brake version of it.
There's not too many of those, man. No. And there's like an M in that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
I used to hate them. When they came out, they're like, so funny. But now, I think they're really cool.
Yeah, me too.
So I think that the shooting brake style, there's a few other cars out there. We could be wrong. Why don't you guys leave it in the comment? Let us know. Like, where does it go? How far does it go back? Where did it originate from? What is a shooting brake? But that's what we think this thing is. And,
but the Z3 doesn't look like it had somebody hand make a for the back of
so I mean this is obviously a roadster or a convertible, right? So you can actually see it. It's still removable. Looks so that's kind of cool. I give him that, as a coolness factor that he can still take it off and it's still a Miata. Although I'm seeing these wheels on this thing, and if you pay attention, those wheels are not deep dish. They're like a pretty positive offset, and yet they stick out like 2 to 4 inches. Like the fronts are maybe a couple inches out, backs are like 4 inches out. Maybe
that is true.
More. What does that tell you?
I don't know.
It tells me that there's a different chassis under it, possibly, or at least suspension wise. It's something wider.
Yeah.
Which is right up our alley. A different chassis.
Yeah, because you got some big old flares on there. It's sticking out past the flares even.
Yeah, and I'm kind of seeing vaguely there in that engine compartment, like looks like an intake, maybe like kind of centered.
Yeah.
And this, would have been
maybe it's got an LS swap in it or something.
Yeah, because stock is a 4-banger, So it probably has a V8 swap in it or something. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. And it looks like it's rattle can silver. It does have a cowl induction hood.
Yeah,
that's the scoop,
which
on that.
Looks a little funky being on such a short car.
Yeah, I think overall it definitely has kind of some weird proportions going on.
Yeah, that front end looks like it's not. It has seen its better days as far as how well the front is fitting to the fenders.
I don't even know. It looked kind of hanging there a little bit because of the wire sticking out. I don't even know. I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah.
Well,
looks like it's got a couple of round lights down in the bottom.
Yeah, I noticed that too as we were speaking. Hey, check out the CRX behind it or next to it.
Yeah,
that's a blue Honda CRX. You guys, if you remember CRXs, then you're kind of a import nerd, and I was, so I can say that because they were fun. I had a lot of imports growing up.
I almost had one as my first car. It was just a little bit out of my budget, but it was all black. Man, that thing was cool.
Well, and this is kind of the backgrounds, so you coming from kind of, is it fair to say, is it Midwest?
Yeah, Michigan is Midwest.
Yeah, there you go. So just totally different styles. You guys were really heavy into the American V8.
American muscle. That was the other car I was considering was a Ford Gran Torino.
That's pretty
455.
Cool. Red.
It was puke green, dude.
With white stripes.
It was ugly puke green. But my dad was like, no, 1, you don't need that much horsepower. 2, you can't afford the gas. 16 years old.
So, my background in the cars is West Coast. So I kind of grew up in the Southern California, Orange County area. And I was big into, actually I was really big originally into water pumpers, which is Volkswagens, but they're the water-cooled Volkswagens, okay. Right? So like the Scirocco, GTI, Jetta, things like that. In fact, maybe we can have Connor do us a favor and drop a picture in of one of my Volkswagen Scirocco's back in 1990-ish. Yeah, this car is a 79 Volkswagen Scirocco that I decided to cut up and stretch it about 2.5 feet and added another axle, another set of tires behind it. So it was a
6-wheel Scirocco.
Tandem Scirocco. But that wasn't enough. Going doors, baby. And they were functional. That car actually worked. It was all finished. Well, the interior wasn't finished, but the outside was all finished, painted really nice. And Ford at the time, it was a pretty fun car. We did a lot of shows with it. So my best friend, he was on Voxo right there. We saw him earlier. So he and I grew up together. And he, at the same time, he had a Nissan 720, which is a pickup truck, mini truck. And he did the same thing. We built them at the same time. So he had 6 wheels on his Nissan, and he had Lambo style doors, and it was convertible. So he had a Nissan truck.
That's wild.
In fact, he swapped my grill from the Scirocco in it. I don't know if we can drop that in here too, Connor, because it's pretty fun. It's a yellow Nissan. So we cruised the streets of Southern California, man. We did a bunch of shows, and they were head turners. They came out in magazines. They were both in magazine covers, and it was a fun time. So, yeah, it's kind of cool to just see the different backgrounds, where we come from, and kind of have to appreciate that. Sometimes guys get a little crazy and they're like, this or nothing, and it's like, no, because then I got into, V8 stuff later myself.
Yeah.
And
so my first car actually ended up being a 1985 Citation 2.
Oh my gosh! I don't know if I would have told everybody that.
It was a 2-door, had some nice aluminum wheels. I lowered it about an inch.
Just the model name, man.
All
Citation.
tinted out, all flat. Yeah, I know.
Well, if you have a picture, maybe we should drop that bad boy on here. But if not, that's okay. We'll leave it to the imagination if it's not there. All right. Well, hey, so that was...
You know what's awesome?
No, what's awesome?
What's awesome is that the Lord has blessed us to be able to live in this country and be able to do this kind of stuff with cars.
That is awesome, man. We are definitely blessed to be able to build the cars and have what we have, in this country for sure. Yeah. So that's awesome, man.
Always praise God for it. Always.
Definitely. And on that note, I think we're going to wrap this one up.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody, God bless you guys. We forgot to tell you to make sure that you give us a thumbs up and all that other good stuff so that this YouTube will share this. This YouTube will share this with people like yourselves who are enthusiasts and they want to see silly things like this about cars.
Yeah. God bless you, and we'll see you in episode 3.
Awesome. Later.